Om. The 9th Sutra deals with the last of the 5 kleshas, Abhinivesha. And the sutra is Svarasavahi vidushopi tatharudhobhiniveshaha. Svarasavahi vidushopi tatharudhobhiniveshaha. Svarasavahi vidusha api तथा आरूढ़ः अभिनिवेश स्वरसवाही विदुषोपि तथा आरूढ़ो अभिनिवेशः. स्वरसवाही, स्व is one's own, owned by one, belongs to one. Swa. Rasa is juice, essence. Vahi, carrier, flow. Vahi is carrier. Just for reference, Varahi we call it. Vahi, carrier. Vahini, Vidyavahi, Vidyut Vahi, carrier, carries Vidyut. So Vahi is a carrier. Vidusha is learned. Vidusha is learned. Api is also. Tatha, in the same way as Arudha, mounted on that. Abhinivesha is will to live or fear of death. Love of life or fear of death. That is Abhinivesha. So Abhinivesha is a strong desire for life which dominates even the learned people, not the wise. Abhinivesha is a strong desire for life which dominates even the learned persons. That's how Abhinivesha has been defined. And it is an instinct, it is inborn, as we say. And this inborn, instinctive, spontaneous, though there are slight shades, but it is Svarasavahi. It is self-dependent. Svarasavahi. Vahi is move. It is carried by Svarasa, by its own essence. It moves by itself. It has its in itself. Vidusha api tatha arudaha abhiniveshaha. So the sutra actually doesn't explain or define what is abhinivesha, but gives an explanation of it. Abhinivesha, a great urge for clinging to life, which functions on its own force. That is Svarasavahi. This desire to hold on to life love for life, fear of death, functions on its own force, self-fueled, self-dependent, swa-rasa vahi, and is dominated. Arudha, it is mounted, dominated. Arudha it is there even in the Vidusha, learned persons. In the same way as in the ignorant persons, tatha. So this fear of death, love of life, clinging to life is common in learned and in the common people. It's common in learned and the common people because it is self-dependent. This fear cannot be explained by perceptives, verbal and inferential knowledge. They lead to the inference that the pain of death has been experienced in the former life. Nobody who died can say what was the experience of death. Nobody can say. But there is a fear of death means, this is a very important point. No one, no living being can say what was the fear of death. Because after death, it's not there. But feared for death, afraid of death, and loving to cling to the life, it shows that it had an experience ingrained in it, the fear of death, the experience of death. Please note, it's a very important dimension. The love to live and the fear of death is because, or that itself shows that it had an experience ingrained, swarasa vahi, the fear, the experience of death. What does it mean? There is a continuity of life. In fact, this is an important sutra which stamps, confirms what we call normally reincarnation, Punarjanma Siddhanta of the Indian philosophy. Reiterates in this particular sutra, may I live long, I should not die, I should not be extinct, I should live long time. Such self-assertions, suggestions creates abhinivesha, fear of death and love of life. Even a worm, a small insect, pipilika, and a newborn baby, they fear when they sense a danger, when they sense threat of death. May not be able to express it, but the expression is visible. Fear is seen as being caused by pain or the cause of the pain. So when death dealing comes in front of a newborn baby, as I say, a small worm, there is a trembling, shivers, shakes. Why? Because that experience of death was there in it. That's why the fear of death has come. That means it has undergone a cycle of birth and death. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. Adi Shankaracharya tells, Punarapi janani jathare shayanam. Iha samsare bahud sare, kripaya pare pahi murare, concept. So already experienced in the previous births. So that experience of death was painful. So when he sees something is dangerous, I may lose, I may die, my life may be lost. He is afraid. We are afraid. That is the Swarasavahi. We have common examples when we see. You see, normally ducks, they are hatched by hen. And the moment eggs are hatched, the small ducklings, they rush to water. And poor hen, which has hatched it, feels terrible that they are going to the water, they may drown. But it was nature of the ducklings to swim. It was ingrained. Similarly, when the chicken come out of the eggs, they start picking up the food. It is instilled instinctively. All our needs for the medical treatments, all our health consciousness, health awareness, these are all rooted in whatever we say on the fear of death. Taking medicines, treating our diseases, all these are rooted in fear of death and love of life. That's what this particular sutra says. And even Vidushas, very learned persons, highly philosophical teachings, very learned, but still they cling to life because they fear the death, because that experience of pain of death was ingrained in them. They avoid it. All of us do that. And that is the importance of the particular sutra. Very, very powerful sutra which puts bare in front of us the importance of life and death. And the next sutra is another beautiful sutra from Maharshi Patanjali. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.